Welcome, dear listener. Tonight, there is nowhere you need to go. Nothing you need to finish. Nothing you need to organize. Nothing you need to remember. For a little while, you can simply rest. Let yourself settle into a comfortable position. Perhaps your head is resting against a soft pillow. Perhaps a blanket is lying gently across your body. Maybe the room around you is already quiet. Or perhaps there are small sounds in the distance. A fan turning softly. A vehicle passing somewhere far away. The quiet hum of a house settling for the night. Whatever is around you, you do not need to change it. You can simply allow yourself to become comfortable. Take a slow breath in, gently, and slowly breathe out. Again, breathe in, and let the breath go. There is nothing special you need to do with your breathing. You do not need to make it deep. You do not need to count it. Just notice the natural rhythm. Breathing in and breathing out. Let your forehead soften. Let the small muscles around your eyes relax. Allow your eyebrows to become loose. Your cheeks can soften. Your jaw can rest. There is no need to clench your teeth. Let your tongue rest comfortably. Feel your neck becoming relaxed. Your shoulders can drop a little lower, as though you have finally put down something you have been carrying all day. Let your arms become heavy. Your elbows, your wrists, your hands, your fingers. Nothing needs to be held. Your hands can simply rest. Take another gentle breath and slowly breathe out. Notice your chest rising and falling, your stomach moving gently with each breath, your back supported beneath you, your hips becoming heavier, your thighs relaxing, your knees becoming soft, your calves resting, your ankles loosening, and your feet quiet, warm, still. You do not need to hurry anywhere. You do not need to prepare for tomorrow. Tomorrow will arrive when it is ready. For now, there is only this moment, and this moment can be peaceful. Imagine now that evening has arrived in a small old town. The town rests at the edge of a green valley. Low hills surround it on three sides. Beyond the hills are fields, orchards, small streams, and winding paths. The town itself is made of old stone houses. Their roofs are covered with dark clay tiles. Small gardens grow behind wooden gates. Narrow lanes pass between the buildings. And as evening arrives, warm golden lights begin appearing behind windows. One window, then another, then another. The sky above the town is turning blue. The last light of day rests gently along the rooftops. You are walking slowly down one of the quiet lanes. Your footsteps are soft. The stone beneath your feet has been polished smooth by many years of passing feet. The air is cool. It carries the faint scent of leaves, earth, and something sweet baking somewhere nearby. You breathe in and breathe out. Ahead of you, you notice a warm light. It comes from a small shop at the corner of the lane. The shop has a green wooden door. Above it hangs an old wooden sign. On the sign are painted leaves, small flowers, and a silver crescent moon. Beneath them are the words. You slow your steps. The shop windows glow with warm amber light. Behind the glass, you can see rows of little bottles, bundles of dried flowers, glass jars filled with leaves, small wooden boxes, ceramic bowls, and a few candles burning softly. The shop looks warm, quiet, welcoming. You walk toward the door. There is no hurry. You reach out your hand. Your fingers touch the old brass handle. It is smooth from years of use. You turn it gently. The door opens. A small bell rings above you. A soft, clear, little sound. Then silence. You step inside. And immediately, the outside world seems farther away. The air is warmer here. There is a gentle scent of lavender, chamomile, mint, and dried orange peel. The wooden floorboards are old but clean. A long counter stretches along one side of the room. Behind it, shelves rise toward the ceiling. Hundreds of jars rest there, each one carefully labeled. The lamps are low. Their shades are amber-colored. The light touches the wooden shelves, the glass jars, and the old stone walls. Everything seems softer in this light. You hear a quiet ticking clock. Tick, tick, tick. Somewhere behind the counter, a kettle makes a gentle humming sound. You follow the sound, and there she is, the apothecary. Her name is Alara. She is standing beside a wooden preparation table. She is wearing a simple cream-colored apron. Her sleeves are rolled gently to her elbows. Her hair is loosely tied back. She is holding a small ceramic spoon. She looks up and smiles. "Good evening," she says. Her voice is quiet, warm, unhurried. "Welcome." You do not need to answer. You can simply smile. Alara seems to understand. She gestures toward an old armchair near the window. "Sit for a while." You walk toward it. The chair is wide and comfortable. A folded wool blanket rests across the back. You sit. The cushion gently supports you. Alara returns to her preparation table. You watch her work. She opens a small glass jar. Inside are pale yellow chamomile flowers. She measures a little into a ceramic bowl. Then another jar. Lemon balm. Then lavender. A tiny amount. Just enough to add its gentle fragrance. She places the herbs into a blue ceramic teapot. Then lifts the kettle. Steam rises. She pours the hot water slowly. The herbs float briefly on the surface, then begin to settle. The scent spreads through the room. Chamomile, soft and floral. Lemon balm, fresh and green. Lavender, light and calming. Alara places the lid on the teapot, then waits. You notice how slowly she moves. There is no unnecessary movement, no rushing, no sudden sounds. Everything happens at an easy pace. She takes 2 cups from a shelf. They are simple white cups with small blue flowers around the rim. She places one beside you, then pours the tea. Steam curls upward. She places the cup gently on the little wooden table beside your chair. "Take your time," she says. You look at the tea. The surface is golden. A thin ribbon of steam rises. You lift the cup. It is warm against your hands. You breathe in. The scent is gentle. You take a small sip. Warmth spreads slowly through your mouth, down your throat, and into your chest. You take another sip. Outside, the evening deepens. The last sunlight disappears from the hills. The shop becomes even warmer. Alara lights another lamp. The flame glows behind the amber glass. She walks to the front door. A small wooden sign hangs beside it. She turns it around. The side facing the street now reads, "Calming Hour." Then she closes the door. The little bell rings once. Alara locks the door. Not because anyone is being kept out. Simply because this hour belongs to quiet. She returns to the counter. The shop settles. The clock continues ticking. The kettle cools. The lamps glow. The herbs rest in their jars. And the rain begins. At first, only one drop touches the window. Then another. Tap. A pause. Tap. Another. Soon, the rain becomes a soft, steady rhythm. It falls against the glass. It touches the roof. It lands among the leaves of the garden behind the shop. The sound is gentle. Never loud. Just enough to soften the town outside. Alara sits in a chair across from you. She holds her own cup of tea. For a while, neither of you speaks. You simply listen. Rain against the window. The clock on the wall. The soft crackle of the little stove. The occasional movement of leaves outside. Your own breathing. In and out. You begin to notice how comfortable the silence feels. It is not an empty silence. It is the kind of silence that gives your thoughts somewhere to settle. Alara looks toward the rain. Some evenings, she says quietly, the best thing we can do is nothing at all. You take another sip of tea. Warm, gentle, comforting. She continues. People often think rest begins when everything is finished. She smiles. But everything is never finished. The rain continues. You watch a drop slide slowly down the window. It meets another drop. The two become one. Then move downward together. You follow them with your eyes. And somehow, you feel your breathing slow. In and out. Elara stands. She walks toward the back room. I'll prepare something warm. You hear the quiet sound of ceramic bowls. A wooden spoon. The kettle being filled again. The familiar little sounds of an evening ritual. You lean back into the armchair. The blanket rests across your lap. The rain continues. The lamps glow. The herbs surround you with their gentle fragrance. You allow your eyes to become heavy. You do not need to sleep yet. You only need to rest. Outside, the town is becoming quieter. Inside, the apothecary is becoming warmer. And somewhere in the back room, Elara is preparing the next cup of tea. The calming hour has only just begun. And tonight, there is plenty of time, plenty of quiet, plenty of warmth, plenty of room to breathe. Take one slow breath in, and slowly breathe out. Let your shoulders soften again. Let your hands rest. Let your body become a little heavier. Listen to the rain. Listen to the clock. Listen to the gentle sounds of the apothecary. And allow yourself to stay here for a little while longer. The green door is closed. The lamps are glowing. The herbs are resting. The tea is warm. And the evening has nowhere else to be. The rain continued softly against the windows. Inside the apothecary, the warmth seemed to deepen. You remained in the old armchair beside the window, wrapped loosely in the wool blanket. The cup of tea rested between your hands. Its warmth had begun to fade, but the scent remained. Chamomile, lemon balm, a little lavender. You took another small sip, then settled farther into the chair. There was something about the shop at night that made time feel different. The clock still ticked. The hands still moved. But the minutes seemed softer. They did not push you forward. They simply passed. One, then another, then another. The rain whispered against the glass. Elara returned from the preparation room carrying a small wooden tray. On it was another pot of tea. Beside it were two small ceramic bowls. One held warm oat biscuits. The other held thin slices of pear sprinkled with cinnamon. She placed the tray on the table. "There," she said. "Something simple." You looked at the biscuits. They were golden around the edges, a little darker where they had touched the baking tray. Elara sat down again. She poured the tea. This time, the fragrance was slightly different. There was ginger, a little honey, and something warm and sweet. Perhaps cinnamon. You lifted the cup. Steam touched your face. You breathed in slowly. then took a sip. The tea was warm without being too hot. The honey softened the ginger. The cinnamon lingered gently. Elara watched the rain. "You can tell a lot about an evening by the way people drink tea," she said. You looked at her. She smiled. "Some people drink quickly. Some forget their cup entirely. Some hold the cup for 10 minutes before taking the first sip." She laughed softly. "And some simply keep refilling it." The rain tapped gently against the window. "Which kind are you?" she asked. Perhaps you do not answer. You simply smile. Elara smiles too. "That is perfectly fine." She takes a sip. The room becomes quiet again. You listen to the rain. You listen to the clock. You listen to the faint crackle of the stove. And gradually, you notice another sound. A soft drip. Water falling somewhere outside. The garden. Elara glances toward the back door. The rain has been good for the garden. She stands. "Would you like to see it?" The invitation is gentle. There is no expectation. You simply rise from the chair. The blanket remains behind. Elara picks up a small lantern. Its glass sides glow with warm amber light. She walks toward the back of the shop. You follow. The preparation room is smaller than the main room. There is a long wooden table. Shelves filled with ceramic jars. A copper kettle. A stone sink. Bundles of herbs hanging upside down from wooden beams. Their stems are tied together with simple pieces of string. As you pass, you notice the different scents. Rosemary. Mint. Thyme. Lavender. Dried orange peel. Sage. Something sweet and earthy. Elara opens a narrow wooden door at the back. Cool evening air enters. You step outside. The garden is beautiful after rain. The stone path shines beneath the lantern. Every leaf holds tiny drops of water. The lavender plants bend gently beneath the weight of the moisture. The rosemary bushes are dark green. The mint leaves look almost silver. The pear tree stands at the far end of the garden. Its branches move softly in the breeze. You hear rainwater dripping from the leaves. Drip, drip, drip. The sound is slow, regular, peaceful. Elara walks along the path. She does not speak. You follow at an easy pace. There is no need for conversation. The garden itself seems to provide enough. She stops beside the lavender. She touches one of the stems. A little drop of water falls. Then another. She brings the stem close to her fingers. The fragrance rises. Soft. Floral. Clean. "Even after the rain," she says. The scent stays. You breathe in. The garden smells wonderful. Wet earth. Leaves. Lavender. Wood. A faint sweetness from the pear tree. And somewhere beyond the garden wall, the smell of bread. Perhaps the bakery is still cooling its evening loaves. Elara walks farther. She stops beside a small wooden box. It is raised slightly above the ground. This is where I keep the seedlings. She opens the lid. Inside are tiny green plants. Some are barely more than 2 leaves. Others have begun to grow little stems. You lean closer. The lantern illuminates them softly. They look so small. They are. How long do they take to grow? Elara smiles. Long enough. You wait. She continues. That is usually the answer. She closes the box. The rain has stopped now. Only water remains. Droplets falling from leaves. A tiny stream of water moving along the edge of the path. The garden feels freshly washed. You walk toward the pear tree. The branches are low. Several pale leaves tremble in the breeze. Elara places the lantern on a stone. Warm light spreads across the ground. She looks toward the sky. Clouds are slowly opening. A little patch of moonlight appears, then disappears again. It may clear later, she says. You stand beside her. Neither of you says anything. There is nothing that needs saying. You listen. A night bird calls somewhere beyond the wall. A few leaves rustle. Water drips. The town sounds distant. The apothecary behind you glows through the open door. Warm. Golden. Inviting. Elara picks up the lantern. We should go inside. You walk back. The wooden door closes gently. The warmth returns. The rain has left behind a coolness in the air. But the stove quickly fills the room with heat again. Elara hangs the lantern beside the back door. Then she walks to a narrow shelf. She takes down a small wooden box. The box is old. Its corners are rounded from years of use. She carries it to the table. What is that, you ask? Elara smiles. The beginning. She opens it. Inside are old handwritten papers. Small pieces of folded parchment. A few dried leaves. A faded photograph. And several little labels written in different handwriting. You look closely. The first label is very old. The ink has faded to brown. Elara touches it gently. My grandmother wrote this. She pauses. She kept this shop before me. You look at the label. It reads, Calming hour, after sunset. Elara smiles. It started with her. She folds the label carefully. She believed every shop should have 1 hour when nobody was expected to buy anything. You look at her. Not even herbs? Not even herbs. She laughs quietly. Well, she did make exceptions for tea. The little room fills with the warmth of her laughter. Then she becomes quiet again. She picks up another piece of paper. My grandmother used to say that people spend too much of their lives preparing to live. She turns the paper over. She wanted the shop to be a place where people could simply be. The words settled gently into the room. The clock ticks. The stove crackles. Outside, water continues dripping from the garden. Elara closes the box. She does not put it away immediately. Instead, she leaves it on the table. Perhaps she likes having old memories nearby. Not because she wants to live in the past. Simply because they remind her that some peaceful traditions can travel through time. She returns to the counter. You sit again in the armchair. The blanket is still waiting. You pull it gently over your lap. The chair feels warm, comfortable, familiar already. Elara begins preparing herbs. This time, she is not making tea. She is sorting tomorrow's ingredients. She opens a jar of dried mint. The leaves are soft and pale green. She checks them, then places them into a small wooden container. Next, lemon balm, then rosemary, then chamomile. Each herb receives the same gentle attention. You watch. There is something almost meditative about the process. Pick up, measure, place, close the jar, return it to the shelf. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is wasted. Every movement seems to belong exactly where it is. You begin to feel sleepy. Not deeply sleepy. Just pleasantly tired. The kind of tiredness that comes when the day is finally allowed to end. Elara notices. You may rest. You smile. She continues working. You don't have to stay awake. Her voice is gentle. The calming hour is for resting. So you close your eyes for a moment. You listen. The sounds become softer. The rain has almost completely stopped. The stove burns quietly. The clock ticks. Elara moves around the shop. A jar opens. A drawer closes. A spoon touches ceramic. A cupboard door settles. Small sounds. Familiar sounds. Safe sounds. You breathe in. And out. In. And out. After a while, you open your eyes. Elara is standing near the front window. She is looking outside. The clouds have moved. The moon is visible now. Its light rests across the wet street. The stones shine. The green door reflects a faint silver glow. Elara lowers the front lamp slightly. The room becomes darker. Not dark, just softer. The amber lamps now seem brighter against the night. You can see the shapes of the jars, the shelves, the old counter, the chair, the little tea table. Everything feels almost dreamlike. Elara returns with another cup. This one is for the end of the evening. She places it beside you. The tea is pale. A few tiny flower petals float on the surface. You lift the cup. The scent is delicate. Chamomile again, with a little vanilla. You take a sip. Warm, soft, almost creamy. Alara settles into the chair across from you. She holds her own cup. Neither of you speaks. You look toward the window. The town is quiet now. Most of the lights have disappeared. Only a few remain. One in an upstairs bedroom. One above the bakery. One beside the town library. One at the far end of the lane. Small points of warmth in the darkness. You imagine the people behind those windows. Perhaps someone is reading. Someone is washing dishes. Someone is preparing tomorrow's breakfast. Someone is already asleep. Everyone moving gently toward the end of the day. The thought feels comforting. The whole town is slowing, and you are slowing with it. Alara closes her eyes. You close yours too. For a few moments, there is only breathing. In and out. The clock. Tick, tick, tick. The stove. Crackle. Settle. Crackle. The garden. Drip, drip, drip. In the soft warmth of the tea. You notice your shoulders relaxing. Your hands becoming heavier. Your breathing becoming slower. The day feels farther away. Whatever happened earlier is now behind you. Whatever needs to happen tomorrow can wait until morning. Tonight, there is only the calming hour. The little shop. The warm lamps. The old wooden shelves. The gentle herbs. The quiet garden. The moonlight. And the soft rhythm of rest. After a while, Alara stands. She walks toward the front door. She checks the lock, then turns off one lamp. The shop becomes a little dimmer. She turns off another. The shelves disappear gradually into shadow. Only the lamp beside your chair remains. Its light is warm, golden, soft. Alara returns. Almost time, she whispers. You look at the clock. The calming hour is nearing its end. But somehow, you do not feel that anything is ending. The quiet will simply continue. The shop will remain peaceful. The night will remain outside. And sleep, when it comes, will feel like another room in the same gentle house. Alara sits down again. She takes one final sip of tea, then places the cup on the table. She looks toward the window. The moon is now clear. The wet rooftops shine beneath it. The garden glistens. The valley beyond the town is quiet. And for a long while, she simply watches. You breathe slowly. In and out. Your eyelids feel heavier now. Your body feels warm. Your mind feels quieter. The chair supports you. The blanket rests gently across your legs. The scent of herbs surrounds you. The little lamp beside you glows. And the apothecary, the old green door, the quiet garden, the moonlit town, all begin to feel like part of a dream. You do not need to hold on to the details. You can let them blur. Let the shelves become soft shapes. Let the lights become little golden stars. Let the sound of the clock become distant. Let your breathing become slow. In and out. The calming hour continues for just a little longer. And there is nowhere else you need to be. Tomorrow, the green door will open again. The jars will wait on their shelves. The herbs will release their gentle fragrances. The garden will welcome the morning. The kettle will warm. And another evening will come. But for now, you can remain here. In the warm light. In the quiet. In the gentle scent of chamomile and lavender. Listening to the last drops of rain falling from the garden leaves. Drip, 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 until even those sounds become softer, and softer, and softer still. The last drops of rain were still falling from the leaves in the garden. Drip, drip, drip. Each drop seemed to arrive after a long pause. Inside the apothecary, the little lamp beside your chair continued to glow. Its amber light rested on the wooden floor. It touched the edge of the table. It caught the rim of your teacup. And beyond the circle of light, the shelves became soft shapes in the darkness. The apothecary was quiet now. Not completely silent. There was still the clock. Tick, tick, tick. There was still the gentle sound of the stove. There was still the occasional movement of a branch outside. And beneath everything, there was the quiet rhythm of your breathing. In and out. You remained in the armchair. The wool blanket rested comfortably across your legs. Your tea was nearly finished. Only a little remained in the bottom of the cup. You could still smell the herbs. Chamomile, lemon balm, lavender, a faint sweetness from the honey. The fragrance seemed to stay in the room long after the tea had cooled. Alara sat across from you. For a while, she said nothing. She had a way of allowing silence to remain silence. She did not fill every quiet moment with words. Perhaps that was one of the reasons people liked coming here. They did not have to explain themselves. They did not have to be entertaining. They did not have to appear cheerful. They could simply sit. The clock continued ticking. Then, from somewhere outside, came the faint sound of footsteps. Slow footsteps. A pause. Then another few steps. Alara looked toward the door. The little bell moved gently. Someone had touched the handle. A soft knock followed. Alara stood. She walked to the door. When she opened it, an elderly woman stood beneath the moonlit street. Her name was Mrs. Bell. She carried a small cloth bag. Her silver hair was tucked beneath a knitted scarf. "Good evening, Alara." "Good evening. I know it is nearly the end of the hour." Alara smiled. "There is still time." Mrs. Bell stepped inside. The door closed. Warmth surrounded her. She removed her scarf. Alara took her coat. Mrs. Bell looked toward the armchair, then toward the window. "I thought I might sit for a little while." "Of course." Alara prepared another cup of tea. This time, a simple peppermint infusion. The leaves released a fresh scent. Mrs. Bell sat beside the window. She held the cup between both hands. For several minutes, she said nothing. Then she sighed softly. Not a sad sigh. Simply the sigh of someone who had been walking all day and had finally reached a comfortable chair. Alara sat nearby. Mrs. Bell looked toward the rain-dark street. "I like the way the town looks after rain." "So do I. Everything seems cleaner." She paused. "Even the stones." Alara smiled. "They do shine." Mrs. Bell took a sip. The peppermint was fresh, cool, clean, comforting. She leaned back. "I remember when this street was not paved." Alara looked at her. "Really?" "Oh yes." Mrs. Bell smiled. "There was dirt all the way to the bakery." She laughed softly. Whenever it rained, everyone walked very carefully. The two women smiled. Mrs. Bell continued talking. Not about anything important. She spoke about old houses, about the bakery, about the pear tree that once grew beside the library, about a shop that had sold ribbons many years ago, about summer evenings when people sat outside their homes. Her memories came slowly, one at a time, like photographs being taken from an old box. Alara listened. She never interrupted. Sometimes she nodded. Sometimes she smiled. Sometimes she simply looked at the person speaking. The stories were ordinary. And because they were ordinary, they felt beautiful. A street, a bakery, a tree, a ribbon shop, a rainy afternoon, a cup of tea. Small things. The things that quietly make up a life. Mrs. Bell eventually became quiet. She looked down into her cup. "I suppose I come here because I like remembering." Alara smiled. "And perhaps because you like peppermint." Mrs. Bell laughed. "That too." The clock moved forward. The calming hour was almost finished. Mrs. Bell stood. She wrapped her scarf around her neck. "Thank you." Alara nodded. "Come again." "I will." The bell rang softly when she left. The door closed. The room became quiet again. You remained in your chair. The blanket was warm. Your eyes were becoming heavier. Alara returned to the counter. She placed the used cup beside the sink. Then she washed it carefully. Water flowed softly. The ceramic cup made a small sound against the basin. She dried it with a linen cloth, then placed it back on the shelf. Everything returned to its place. Nothing dramatic. Nothing rushed. Just the gentle closing of an evening. But the calming hour was not quite finished. Elara looked toward you. There is one more story. She walked to the old wooden box. The one she had shown you earlier. She opened it again. This time, she took out a small notebook. Its cover was dark blue. The edges were worn. She carried it to the table. This belonged to my grandmother. She opened it carefully. The pages were filled with handwriting. Some letters were large, others small. Some lines were neat, others slanted gently across the paper. What did she write? Elara smiled. Mostly ordinary things. She turned a page. Recipes. Another page. Garden notes. Another. Names of people who visited. Another. Weather. She turned a few more pages, then stopped. Here. At the top of the page were 3 words. The calming hour. Elara read slowly. Every evening, after the sun leaves the western hill, the shop becomes quiet. She paused. The lamps are lowered. The kettle is warmed. The herbs are prepared. And whoever enters may stay as long as they need. She turned the page. There were more notes. Some come with questions. Some come with stories. Some come with no words at all. Elara looked at you. My grandmother wrote that last line often. She turned another page. At the bottom, a small sentence had been underlined. No one should have to earn a quiet evening. The room seemed even quieter. The clock continued. Tick, tick, tick. Elara closed the notebook. She did not explain the sentence. She did not need to. You looked toward the window. The moon had moved higher. The street was silver. The garden was dark. The wet leaves reflected tiny points of light. You took a slow breath and breathed out. The words from the old notebook seemed to remain in the air. A quiet evening did not need to be earned. Perhaps rest did not need to be earned either. Perhaps you could simply rest. Here. Now. In this warm room. With the smell of herbs around you. The sound of the clock. The soft light. The comfortable chair. The gentle night beyond the window. You let your eyes close. For a moment, you imagine the apothecary many years earlier. The same shelves. The same green door. The same little lamps. Different faces. Different clothes. Different seasons. But the same quiet hour. You imagine someone entering the shop long ago. Perhaps they sat in the very chair where you were sitting. Perhaps another person had held a cup of tea here. Perhaps the old wooden floor had creaked beneath their footsteps. Perhaps the same clock had been ticking. The thought was strangely comforting. Places can remember in their own way. Not through words, but through repetition. A chair remembers the shape of those who sit in it. A wooden counter remembers the warmth of hands. A garden remembers every season through its soil. A teapot remembers countless evenings through its familiar warmth. And an old shop perhaps remembers quiet. Elara closed the notebook. She returned it to the wooden box. Then she walked toward the shelves. She began preparing the herbs for morning. The work was gentle. She opened one jar, measured a little, closed it, opened another, measured, closed. The sounds became rhythmic, soft, predictable, comforting. You listened. There was something almost musical about it. Open, measure, close, step, place, turn, open, measure, close. You found yourself breathing at the same rhythm. In and out. In and out. The lamp flickered gently. A shadow moved across the wall. The shadow of a hanging bundle of rosemary. It swayed slightly, then became still. Elara noticed you becoming sleepy. She smiled. You may close your eyes. You let them close. The apothecary became a world of sound. The clock. Tick, tick, tick. The stove. Crackle. Settle. Crackle. The shelves. A faint wooden creak. The garden. A final drop of water. Drip. Then silence. You're breathing. In and out. Elara's footsteps. Slow. Soft. Measured. You imagine the shop as if you were floating gently through it. The long counter. The wooden shelves. The jars. The lamps. The old green door. The back garden. The pear tree. The moon. Everything calm. Everything still. And then, another sound. A very soft tapping at the window. You open your eyes. The rain had begun again. Only lightly. A few drops at first. Then more. The glass shimmered. Tiny streams began forming. The sound returned. Tap. 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 Elara looked toward the window. Another little shower. She smiled. I think the garden needed it. You watched the water slide down the glass. The rain was gentle, almost delicate. It made the whole shop feel more enclosed, more peaceful. The world outside became blurred. The streetlights softened. The garden disappeared into shadow. Only the nearest leaves could be seen. Alara lowered another lamp. The shop became darker. The warm glow around you seemed to deepen. You could smell the tea. You could smell the wood. You could smell the herbs. And beneath those scents, the faint freshness of rain. You took a slow breath. In and out. Your shoulders softened. Your hands relaxed. Your body felt heavy in the chair. The blanket felt warm. The rain continued. For a long time, nothing happened. And that was beautiful. Nothing needed to happen. The evening did not need a story every minute. Sometimes, the quiet spaces between events are where rest lives. You listened. The rain. The clock. The stove. Your breathing. Everything had become slow. Everything had become gentle. Alara eventually sat down at the preparation table. She began reading. A small book. Its pages made a faint whispering sound as she turned them. You could hear each page. Turn. Pause. Turn. Pause. The rhythm was calming. You imagined yourself falling asleep in the chair. Not deeply. Just resting. The book in Alara's hands. The lamp beside you. The rain against the glass. The herbs resting on their shelves. The warm blanket across your legs. The world outside growing quieter. You breathed in. And breathed out. Your thoughts began drifting. Perhaps you remembered your own quiet places. A favorite chair. A familiar room. A garden. A cup of tea. A window at night. A place where you once felt completely unhurried. You do not need to think about it clearly. Let the memory remain soft. Let it become only a feeling. Warmth. Stillness. Comfort. The rain continued. Alara turned another page. The clock moved closer to midnight. But the apothecary did not feel as though it were waiting for the night to end. It simply rested within the night. The same way you can rest within this moment. No need to hurry towards sleep. No need to make sleep happen. Just allow yourself to become comfortable. Breathing in and breathing out. Your body knows how to rest. Your mind can become quieter. Thoughts can come and go. You do not have to follow them. Imagine them as little clouds passing behind the moon. You notice them. Then they move on. The apothecary remains. Warm. Quiet. Still. And the calming hour continues. Alara eventually closes her book. She looks toward the window. The rain has softened again. She stands. One lamp is extinguished. Then another. The shop becomes darker. Only the lamp near your chair remains. Its glow is small. Warm. Golden. Like a little circle of evening. Alara walks over. She gently adjusts the blanket across your lap. There. Her voice is barely above a whisper. Much better. You feel warm, comfortable, safe. She steps away. The clock ticks. The rain whispers. And you allow your eyes to close again. This time, you do not open them. You simply listen. The apothecary surrounds you. The old wooden shelves. The gentle herbs. The warm lamp. The soft blanket. The quiet rain. The familiar ticking clock. And the knowledge that for this hour, nothing is expected of you. You can simply rest. Breathe in and out. Slowly. Gently. Peacefully. The green door remains closed. The town is quiet. The hills are dark. The garden is sleeping. The herbs are resting. And somewhere beneath the soft amber light, the apothecary continues to breathe. In and out. Just like you. The rain had become softer. It no longer tapped steadily against the windows. Instead, it came in little waves. A few drops touched the glass. Then a pause. A few more. Then silence. The apothecary remained warm. The little lamp beside your chair was still glowing. Its light rested gently on the wooden floor. Across the room, Alara sat at the preparation table. Her old notebook was closed. Her hands rested beside it. For several moments, neither of you spoke. The silence felt natural, comfortable. The kind of silence that does not ask to be filled. You remained beneath the wool blanket. Your tea had cooled, but the cup still held the faint fragrance of chamomile and honey. You could smell the herbs around you. Lavender, mint, rosemary, dried orange peel, the rain, the warm wood, the soft scent of the little stove. Everything seemed to belong together. Alara looked toward the back door. The garden will be beautiful tomorrow. You looked at her. After all this rain? She smiled. Especially after all this rain. She stood. Come. Her voice was quiet. She picked up the lantern. Its small flame glowed behind the glass. You followed her through the preparation room. The wooden floor gave a soft creak beneath your feet. Alara opened the back door. Cool air entered. You stepped outside. The garden had changed again. The rain had washed everything clean. The stone path was dark. The plants glistened. The herbs leaned beneath tiny drops of water. The moon appeared between clouds. Its pale light touched the garden wall. Alara lifted the lantern. The warm glow joined the cool moonlight. For a moment, the garden seemed to exist between two kinds of light. Golden and silver. You walked slowly. There was no need to say anything. The garden made its own quiet music. water dripping from leaves, a branch moving gently, the faint rustle of grass. Far away, a night bird calling. Alara stopped beside the herb beds. This is the oldest part of the garden. You looked around. It did not look especially old. There were small wooden borders around each bed. The plants were healthy. The soil was dark. But there was something peaceful about the place. Alara knelt beside a patch of chamomile. She brushed one wet flower gently with her fingertips. My grandmother planted these. She smiled. Many years ago. She moved farther along the bed. This rosemary came from her garden. She touched another plant. And the lavender came from a cutting she brought from the village beyond the hill. You looked at the plants. They seemed ordinary. Yet suddenly, they felt like part of a much longer story. The garden was not simply a garden. It was a collection of small continuations. One plant growing from another. One season following another. One generation tending what the previous generation had planted. Alara stood. There are some things you cannot hurry. She looked at the young plants near the wall. Gardens are good at teaching that. You smiled. She continued walking. The path curved toward the pear tree. The tree was old too. Its trunk was not particularly large, but its branches had become broad. A few small pears were beginning to form. Alara placed the lantern beneath the tree. Then she sat on a low stone wall. You sat beside her. For a while, you simply watched the garden. The clouds moved slowly across the moon. The moon disappeared, then returned. The lantern flickered. A drop of rain fell from a branch. Drip. Another. Drip. You took a slow breath and breathed out. The air smelled wonderfully fresh. Alara closed her eyes. Sometimes, she said quietly, I think plants understand time better than we do. You looked toward the pear tree. They don't hurry. They cannot. But perhaps, she smiled, they also don't wish they could. The thought lingered. The tree stood quietly. Its roots rested beneath the earth. Its branches reached toward the sky. It did not need to know what came next. It simply grew. Slowly. Season by season. You breathed in and out. There was something deeply calming about that. The garden did not ask tomorrow to arrive early. The night did not ask morning to hurry. Everything remained where it was. For a while, you listened to the quiet. Then Alara began telling you about her grandmother. Not a dramatic story. Just an ordinary one. Her grandmother's name had been Amara. She had inherited the apothecary from her own mother. And her mother had inherited it from hers. The shop had changed slowly over the years. Shelves had been replaced. The roof had been repaired. New jars had arrived. Old ones had disappeared. But the green door had remained. So had the little back garden. So many people think traditions begin with important events, Alara said. But most traditions begin with something very small. She looked toward the garden. My grandmother started the calming hour because she wanted to drink tea before closing the shop. You smiled. That's all? That was all. Alara laughed softly. She had spent the entire day working. One evening she made herself a cup of chamomile tea. She sat beside the window, and she realized she did not want to hurry through it. So she stayed. That became the first calming hour. You looked toward the apothecary. Warm light glowed through the windows. So it began with one cup of tea. Yes. Alara smiled. Most good things do. The rain had stopped completely now. The garden was still. The lantern flame remained steady. You could hear your own breathing. In and out. Alara continued. The next evening, a neighbor came by. He saw her sitting in the shop. He asked if he could join her. So she poured him some tea. The evening after that, someone else came. And eventually, she shrugged gently. People simply began to know. After sunset, the apothecary was quiet. There was something lovely about the simplicity of it. No announcement. No grand opening. No rules. Just one person deciding to slow down. Then another person joining. Then another. Until a small tradition had become part of the town. Alara picked up the lantern. We should go inside. You followed. The warm light of the shop welcomed you. She closed the garden door. Then she placed the lantern on the table. The room smelled even more strongly of herbs after the cool garden air. You returned to the armchair. The blanket was still there. You settled beneath it. Alara began preparing another tea. This time, she used dried rose petals, chamomile, a little vanilla, and one thin strip of orange peel. She placed everything into the teapot, then poured hot water. Steam rose. The scent was soft, floral, warm, slightly sweet. Alara poured 2 cups. She brought yours to the chair. Careful. You hold the cup between your hands. The warmth feels comforting. You take a small sip. The flavor is delicate. The orange peel gives it a faint brightness. The rose is subtle. The chamomile softens everything. You close your eyes. The apothecary feels very quiet. Alara sits at the preparation table. She takes out another old object. A small wooden pestle. It is worn smooth. She turns it over in her hands. My grandmother used this. She places it on the table. It was already old when she had it. You look at it. There are tiny marks in the wood. Years of use. Perhaps thousands of small preparations. Alara smiles. She believed ordinary objects could hold memories. She touches the pestle, not because the object remembers, but because we remember when we see it. You think about your own objects. Perhaps there is a mug you have used for years, a chair that belongs to a familiar corner, a blanket, a book, a small box, a photograph. Things that become part of life simply by being there. Alara returns the pestle to the shelf. Then she begins preparing tomorrow's herbs. The rhythm returns. Open, measure, close, place, step, open, measure, close. The clock ticks. The lamp glows. The tea warms your hands. You breathe slowly. In and out. Outside. The garden rests. Inside. The apothecary rests. You feel yourself becoming sleepy again. Your eyes close. You listen to Alara moving around the room. Her footsteps are soft. The floor creaks occasionally. A drawer opens. A jar moves. A spoon touches ceramic. The sounds are familiar now. You have only been here for one evening. And yet, the place feels strangely familiar. Perhaps comfort can arrive quickly. Perhaps a place can feel peaceful before you know it well. You take another breath. In and out. A thought appears, then fades. Another comes, then fades. You do not need to hold any of them. Let them move through your mind like clouds. The apothecary remains. The chair remains. The blanket remains. The warm light remains. Alara continues her quiet work. You listen. The night grows deeper. Eventually, Alara stops. She looks around the room. Everything is ready for morning. The jars are arranged. The herbs are measured. The cups are washed. The counter is clean. The garden door is closed. She smiles. That's enough for tonight. She blows gently on the lamp. The flame moves, then settles. She turns down another lamp. The room becomes softer, darker. Only two small lamps remain. One beside the counter. One beside you. Alara walks toward the front window. She looks outside. The rain has completely stopped. The street is quiet. The moon shines above the rooftops. The wet stones reflect its light. A few windows remain illuminated. One by one, they begin to darken. The town is going to sleep. Alara returns. She sits in the chair across from you. For a few minutes, she simply rests. Perhaps she is tired too. Perhaps the calming hour belongs to her just as much as it belongs to everyone else. She closes her eyes. You close yours. Two people sitting quietly. No conversation. No need for one. Just the sound of the clock. Tick, tick, tick. You're breathing in and out. The faint warmth of the stove, the scent of herbs, the comfortable weight of the blanket, and the soft glow of the lamps. You begin to notice how heavy your body feels. Your head feels supported. Your shoulders are loose. Your hands are warm. Your legs are still. Your feet are comfortable. There is no need to move. You can simply remain here. Alara's voice comes softly through the quiet. Some evenings are meant to be remembered. She pauses. And some are meant to be forgotten. You listen. She continues. But the best ones are simply allowed to pass. The words are quiet, almost like part of a dream. You breathe in and breathe out. The clock continues. The night continues. The town sleeps. The garden rests. And the apothecary remains warm. You imagine the shop from above. The green door. The dark roof. The little garden. The pear tree. The narrow lane. The quiet houses. The moonlight. Everything is still. Everything is peaceful. Nothing is waiting for you. Nothing needs your attention. You can rest. And as you sit beneath the warm lamp, the world outside becomes softer. The details blur. The shelves become shadows. The jars become small points of light. The garden becomes a dark, peaceful shape beyond the window. The clock becomes distant. Even your thoughts become quieter. In and out. In and out. The calming hour continues. Not as an hour measured by the clock, but as a feeling. A feeling of being allowed to stop. A feeling of being allowed to breathe. A feeling of being allowed to simply exist. You let your eyes remain closed. The chair supports you. The blanket keeps you warm. The tea has left a gentle warmth in your chest. The scent of chamomile remains in the air. The lamps glow softly. And somewhere outside, a single drop of rain falls from the roof. Drip. Then silence. Another. Drip. Then silence. You breathe. In and out. The apothecary becomes quiet enough to dream in. Alara remains nearby. The old green door is closed. The garden sleeps. The moon watches over the rooftops. And you can simply rest. There is nothing else to do tonight. Nothing else to understand. Nothing else to carry. Just this quiet room. This warm light. This soft breath. And this gentle evening. Let your body become heavier. Let your breathing slow. Let your thoughts drift. And when sleep comes, you do not have to go looking for it. You can simply let it find you. The night had become very still. Outside the apothecary, the town slept beneath the moon. The narrow streets were empty. The rooftops were dark. The wet stones had begun to dry beneath the cool night air. Only a few windows still held the faint glow of lamps. Inside, the apothecary remained warm. 2 small lamps continued to burn. One beside the counter. One beside your chair. Their light was soft and golden. It did not reach every corner of the room. And it did not need to. The shadows were gentle. They gathered quietly beneath the shelves, behind the wooden counter, around the jars of herbs, and beneath the old preparation table. Everything looked peaceful. You remained in the armchair. The wool blanket was still wrapped loosely around you. Your body felt heavy. Comfortably heavy. Your breathing had slowed without effort. In and out. Alara sat across the room. Her eyes were closed. She had become very still. For several minutes, neither of you moved. The clock continued its quiet work. Tick, tick, tick. The stove gave a faint sigh. The wooden walls made an occasional soft sound as they settled into the coolness of the night. The shop seemed almost alive. Not awake, but resting. You listened. There was nothing you needed to hear. Nothing you needed to understand. You could simply listen. After a while, Alara opened her eyes. She looked toward the clock, then toward the kettle. "The night tea," she said softly. You opened your eyes. "The last one?" "The quietest one." She stood. Her movements were slow. She crossed the room and lifted the kettle from the stove. There was still enough water inside. She added a little more, then placed it back over the gentle heat. While she waited, she prepared the herbs. This time, she took down a small jar you had not noticed before. It was almost hidden behind several larger jars. The glass was pale green. Inside were tiny dried flowers. "What is that?" you ask. Alara smiles. "Evening primrose." She opens the jar. The scent is very faint, almost sweet. She adds a small amount to the teapot. Then chamomile, a little lemon balm, and a single dried rose petal. Nothing strong. She closes the jars. Just soft. The kettle begins to hum. You hear the water warming. A few tiny bubbles gather along the bottom. Alara waits. She never seems impatient. When the water is ready, she pours it slowly. Steam rises from the teapot. The room fills with a gentle fragrance. You breathe in. The scent is delicate, floral, green, warm, a little sweet. Alara places the lid on the pot, then waits. Again. She lets the herbs rest. "Everything needs time to open," she says. You watch the steam curling around the lid. It rises, then disappears. rises, then disappears. The same simple movement. Up and away. You find yourself breathing with it. In and out. After several minutes, Alara pours the tea. The color is pale gold. She carries your cup to you. This time, you hold it without drinking. The warmth spreads into your hands. You close your eyes. The cup feels comforting. The room is quiet. The scent is gentle. You take a small sip. The tea is warm, mild, soft. There is a faint floral sweetness. Then a clean green note. Nothing sharp. Nothing strong. Just warmth. You take another sip. Alara sits down. She holds her own cup. For a while, you both simply drink tea. No conversation. No story. Just tea. Sometimes, there's comfort in doing something simple with another person. You do not need to speak. You do not need to explain. You simply share the same quiet room, the same warm light, the same evening. The clock continues. Tick, tick, tick. You notice the lamp beside you. Its flame is very small. The glass shade has become warm. Light rests on the table. It touches the edge of your cup. You watch the little reflection move when you lift the tea. Then settle again. You take another breath. In and out. Your body feels even heavier now. Your shoulders have dropped. Your hands are relaxed. Your feet are warm beneath the blanket. Your face is soft. Your eyes are tired. You could close them. Perhaps you do. And for a while, the apothecary becomes a place of sound. The faint ticking clock. The quiet stove. The occasional movement of Alara's cup. The soft breath of the room. Nothing more. After some time, Alara speaks. My grandmother had a saying. You listen. She used to say that there are 3 kinds of quiet. You wait. The first is the quiet before something begins. She takes a sip. The second is the quiet after something has ended. Another sip. And the third, she smiles, is the quiet where nothing needs to begin or end. You think about that. The third kind of quiet. The kind that simply exists. The kind that asks nothing. You breathe in and breathe out. Alara looks around the room. This was her favorite. You look toward the shelves. The old jars. The wooden counter. The green door. The little lamp. Perhaps you understand. There is no beginning here. No ending. Just a quiet moment. A place to rest. A cup of tea. A little warmth. The night outside. You lean farther into the chair. The cushion supports you. The blanket rests across your legs. The tea warms your hands. Your eyes become heavy. Alara does not speak again. She lets the quiet remain. And slowly, your thoughts begin to wander. Not toward anything difficult. Just small things. The garden. The pear tree. The lavender. The moon. The rain. The old wooden box. The notebook. The faded handwriting. The sentence. No one should have to earn a quiet evening. You let the thought float through your mind. Then let it go. There is no need to analyze it. No need to remember it perfectly. It can simply become part of the warmth around you. You breathe. In. And out. Outside. The wind moves gently through the garden. A few leaves brush against one another. The sound is soft, like whispers too quiet to understand. Alara stands. She walks toward the back door. She opens it slightly. Cool air enters. The scent of wet earth comes with it. You can smell the garden again. Lavender. Rosemary. Rain. Leaves. The air is fresh. Alara stands there for a moment, then closes the door. She checks the latch. Returns to the counter. Everything is quiet again. You look toward the window. The moon has moved farther across the sky. Its light enters at a different angle now. A pale stripe of moonlight lies across the floor. It reaches the leg of your chair. The golden lamp and silver moonlight meet there. Warm and cool. Together. You close your eyes. Your breathing is slow. In and out. The apothecary feels almost like a little boat floating through the night. The town is far away. The roads are quiet. The hills are dark. The garden is still. The shop is warm. And you are resting. Nothing more. Just resting. A few minutes pass. Or perhaps much longer. It is difficult to tell. Time feels different here. The clock says one thing. Your body says another. Your body says, enough for today. You listen to that feeling. Your head sinks a little deeper into the chair. Your shoulders relax. Your hands loosen. Your fingers become still. Your legs become heavy. Your breathing becomes soft. In and out. Alara returns to the preparation table. She takes a clean linen cloth. She begins folding it. Slowly. Carefully. Once. Twice. 3 times. She places it beside the teapot. Then another cloth. Fold. Place. Fold. Place. The little ritual seems almost hypnotic. You watch for a while. Then your eyes close. You can still hear her. The soft rustle of linen. The tiny movement of ceramic. The clock. Tick. 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 A gentle breath. Then another. The room feels safe and still. You imagine the shelves filled with sleeping herbs. Every jar closed. Every leaf resting. Every flower quiet. Chamomile. Lavender. Mint. Rosemary. Sage. Lemon balm. Rose petals. Orange peel. Each one waiting patiently for morning. The herbs do not worry about tomorrow. They simply rest. You can rest too. You take another slow breath. In and out. Your thoughts become less distinct. Perhaps you think about the garden. Then the green door. Then the moon. Then the tea. Then nothing in particular. And that is perfectly fine. You do not need to hold a thought. Let it drift. Let it dissolve. Let another thought come. Then drift away too. Like leaves floating slowly down a stream. No need to follow them. Just watch them move. Alara begins lowering the lamps. One by one. The lamp near the counter becomes dimmer. Then the other. The shop is now lit mostly by the small lamp beside your chair. The warm circle of light feels even more comforting. The shelves are dark. The windows are dark. The corners are quiet. Only the nearest things are visible. Your cup. The little table. The blanket. The lamp. The wooden floor. Everything else can remain unseen. You take another breath. In and out. Alara speaks quietly. It is almost morning. You are surprised. It does not feel late. There has been no hurry. No busy clock. No rushing from one thing to another. Just one peaceful moment after another. She smiles. The night passes quickly when we stop asking it to. You listen. Outside. The sky is still dark. But somewhere beyond the hills, morning is beginning to prepare itself. Not yet. Not quite. Just the faintest suggestion. The world is still sleeping. The garden is sleeping. The town is sleeping. The apothecary is sleeping. And you can sleep too. Alara walks toward the front window. She looks outside. The moon is low now. The street is completely quiet. She opens the curtain slightly. A little more moonlight enters. Then she lets the curtain fall. She turns toward you. Would you like to stay until morning? You smile. There is no need to answer. She seems to understand. Then stay. Her voice is warm. You have nowhere else to be. Those words settle softly. Nowhere else to be. You breathe in and breathe out. The chair supports you. The blanket warms you. The room surrounds you. The tea is still beside you. The scent of herbs remains. The clock continues its gentle ticking. You feel yourself drifting. Not suddenly. Not dramatically. Just gradually. Like a boat moving away from the shore. Slowly. Quietly. Without effort. Your thoughts become softer. Your breathing becomes softer. Your body becomes heavier. You imagine the garden again. The pear tree beneath the moon. The lavender wet with rain. The rosemary leaves shining. The little stone path. The lantern hanging beside the door. The old green door. Then the shop. The shelves. The jars. The warm lamps. The wooden counter. The old notebook. The teapot. The cup in your hands. Everything becomes soft. Everything becomes quiet. Everything begins to blur. You take one final slow sip of tea. It is almost cool now, but still comforting. You place the cup on the table. The ceramic makes the faintest sound. Then you settle back. Your eyes remain closed. Elara moves quietly around the room. She checks the stove. She closes a cupboard. She straightens a chair. She places the last cup beside the sink. Then she turns toward the little lamp. She does not turn it off yet. She knows you are resting. Instead, she lowers the flame. The light becomes very small, very warm, very soft. You can almost imagine it as a candle far away. A tiny golden point in the darkness. The clock ticks. Tick, tick, tick. Your breathing follows. In and out. In and out. Slowly. Naturally. There is no need to make yourself sleepy. Sleep is already somewhere nearby. You can simply remain still. Let your body become heavier. Let the chair hold you. Let the blanket hold you. Let the night hold you. The apothecary holds the quiet. The garden holds the rain. The shelves hold the herbs. The moon holds the sky. And you can hold nothing at all. You can let everything go. One thought, then another. One breath, then another. Until there is only softness, only warmth, only quiet. And perhaps, somewhere between one breath and the next, you begin to dream. You dream of the garden. The path is dry now. The moon is bright. The lavender moves gently. The pear tree stands beneath the stars. A small lantern glows beside the green door. You walk toward it. Not because you need to go anywhere. Simply because the light is warm. The door opens. The apothecary is waiting. Inside, the lamps glow. The kettle is warm. The herbs are fragrant. The chair is waiting. The blanket is folded across it. A cup of tea rests on the table. Everything is exactly where it should be. You sit. You breathe. In and out. and the world becomes quiet. So quiet that even the clock seems far away. The apothecary's calming hour becomes something more than an hour. It becomes a little space inside the night. A space where you can pause. A space where you can breathe. A space where nothing is required. And as you rest there, the night gently carries you forward. Not toward anything you need to reach. Only deeper into rest. Deeper into quiet. Deeper into sleep. The green door is closed. The lamps are low. The garden is still. The herbs are sleeping. The moon is fading. And the apothecary, warm and peaceful, waits quietly for morning. You breathe in and breathe out, slowly, softly, easily. And if a thought comes, let it pass. If a sound comes, let it pass. If a memory comes, let it pass. You do not have to follow anything. You can simply rest. The chair beneath you, the blanket around you, the warm room, the quiet night, the gentle scent of herbs, and the soft rhythm of your breathing. In and out. In and out, until the words become quieter and quieter, until the room becomes softer, until the night becomes a dream, and until sleep, very gently, finds you. The apothecary was almost completely quiet now. The little lamp beside your chair had been turned down until its flame was barely more than a soft golden glow. It illuminated only a small circle around you. The edge of the wooden table, the empty teacup, the corner of the wool blanket, a few scattered shadows on the floor. Beyond that, the room rested in darkness. Not a darkness that felt empty. A gentle darkness. The kind that arrives naturally at the end of a peaceful day. Outside, the town was sleeping. The narrow streets were still. The rooftops were dark beneath the fading moon. The garden behind the apothecary was quiet. The lavender held tiny drops of rain. The rosemary branches rested in the cool air. The pear tree stood patiently beneath the night sky. Everything had become still. And inside, you were still too. Your body rested deeply in the old armchair. Your head was supported. Your shoulders were loose. Your hands were relaxed. Your legs felt heavy. The wool blanket rested comfortably across you. Your breathing had become slow. In and out. There was no need to change it. No need to make it deeper. No need to count. Just breathing. In and out. Alara moved quietly around the shop. You could hear her only faintly. A soft footstep. A drawer closing. The gentle movement of a curtain. Then silence again. She was preparing the apothecary for morning. Not because morning had arrived. There was still plenty of night. But she liked to leave things ready. The clean cups, the dry herbs, the fresh water, the little wooden boxes, the garden gate. Everything waiting patiently. You listened. The clock continued ticking. Tick, tick, tick. It seemed very far away now. Perhaps because you were becoming sleepy. Perhaps because the night had grown deeper. Or perhaps because the clock itself seemed quieter during the calming hour. You let your eyes remain closed. There was nothing you needed to see. You could simply imagine the room. The old wooden shelves. The jars lined in rows. The warm amber lamps. The green door. The little table. The chair. The blanket. The teapot. All of it was becoming soft in your mind. Like a memory. Like a dream. Alara walked toward the front window. She stood there for a moment. Then she opened the curtain slightly. The moon was low. Its light touched the rooftops. Beyond the town, the hills were beginning to lose their darkness. Not because morning had arrived. Not yet. Just a faint change. A softness along the horizon. Alara noticed it. She smiled. Then she closed the curtain. The room became warm and dim again. She returned to the chair across from you. "You can sleep," she whispered. There was no need for anything more. You breathed in and breathed out. Slowly. Softly. The words did not ask you to sleep. They simply gave you permission to rest. And so, rosemary, mint, sage, chamomile, lemon balm. The herbs seemed almost like little sleeping gardens. Their scents mixed together. Green, floral, earthy, sweet, comforting. You drifted toward the back door. It opened without a sound. The garden was waiting. Moonlight rested over the stone path. You moved along it slowly. The garden was wet from the rain. The leaves shone. Tiny drops hung from their edges. One fell. Drip. Another. Drip. You continued. The pear tree stood ahead. Its branches moved very gently. The wind was barely there. The leaves whispered. You stopped beneath the tree. You looked upward. Between the branches, you could see the stars. Small. Quiet. Distant. You did not need to reach them. You only needed to look. You breathed. In and out. The air was cool. Fresh. Clean. You could smell the earth. You could smell the rain. You could smell the herbs. And somewhere behind you, the apothecary glowed. Warm light through the windows. A little golden house in the sleeping town. You turned toward it. The green door stood open. The warm light invited you back. You walked slowly toward it. One step. Then another. No hurry. No destination beyond the door. Only warmth. Only rest. You stepped inside. The door closed softly behind you. The familiar warmth surrounded you. The chair was waiting. The blanket was waiting. The little lamp was glowing. And on the table, a fresh cup of tea. You sat. The chair supported you. You pulled the blanket gently around yourself. The tea was warm. You lifted it. Steam touched your face. You breathed in. The scent was chamomile, with a little lavender, a hint of honey. You took a sip. Warmth. Then another. Your breathing became slower. Your eyes became heavier. The room became softer. And suddenly, you understood something very simple. You did not need to hold on to the story. You did not need to remember every detail. You could let it fade. Let the garden fade. Let the shelves fade. Let the green door fade. Let the moon fade. Let the tea fade. The feeling could remain. Warmth. Comfort. Quiet. Rest. You breathed. In. And out. The apothecary remained around you. But even it could become softer. The lamps could become distant. The clock could become distant. Alara's footsteps could become distant. The rain could become distant. Until there was only your breathing. In. And out. In. And out. You are resting. There is nothing you need to solve. Nothing you need to plan. Nothing you need to carry into this moment. The day is finished. Whatever belongs to yesterday can stay there. Whatever belongs to tomorrow can wait. You do not need to visit tomorrow tonight. Tonight belongs to rest. So let your forehead soften. Let your eyes rest. Let your jaw loosen. Let your shoulders become heavy. Let your arms relax. Let your hands become still. Let your chest rise naturally and fall. Let your stomach soften. Let your back feel supported. Let your legs become heavy. Let your feet rest. Nothing needs to move. Nothing needs to be fixed. You can simply be here. Breathing. Resting. Listening. The apothecary is quiet. The garden is quiet. The town is quiet. And you are quiet too. A little later, Alara stands. She walks to the stove. The fire has almost completely faded. Only a few warm embers remain. She gently closes the stove. Then checks the kettle. It is cool now. She washes the final cup. The water makes a soft sound. She dries it, places it on the shelf, then wipes the wooden counter. Slowly, carefully, one gentle movement at a time. When everything is ready, she turns toward you. You are still resting. Your eyes remain closed. Your breathing is slow. She smiles. She understands. She walks to the lamp. But before turning it off, she pauses. She looks around the shop. The shelves. The jars. The wooden floor. The green door. The window. The little table. The chair. Everything that has held this quiet evening. Then she lowers the flame. The golden light becomes smaller. 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 Until it is only a faint glow. And then, darkness. Gentle darkness. The kind that belongs to sleep. The apothecary disappears. The room disappears. The chair disappears. The blanket becomes only warmth. The tea becomes only a memory of warmth. The herbs become only a soft fragrance. The garden becomes only a feeling. And you remain peacefully at rest. Your breathing continues. In and out. In and out. The night continues outside. The town sleeps. The hills rest. The garden rests. The herbs rest. The old green door rests beneath the moon. And somewhere beyond the rooftops, morning slowly approaches. But you do not need to meet it yet. Morning can wait. There is still darkness. There is still quiet. There is still time to sleep. So breathe gently. In and out. Let your breath become softer and softer. You may imagine the old apothecary once more. Just for a moment. The green door. The warm windows. The shelves of herbs. The amber lamps. The little garden. The pear tree. The rain. The moon. The Lara preparing tea. A cup resting between warm hands. A blanket across tired legs. A quiet chair beside a window. Nothing more. Just these gentle images. And then, let them go. Let the green door become a small point of light. Let the point of light become a distant star. Let the star become a soft glow. Let the glow fade until there is only darkness. Warm darkness. Peaceful darkness. Sleep. Your breathing is slow now. Your body knows what to do. You do not need to guide it. You do not need to try. Simply rest. If a thought appears, let it drift away. If another thought appears, let it drift away too. Thoughts do not need answers tonight. They can wait. Tomorrow is full of its own hours. But this hour, this quiet hour, belongs to you. There is no hurry. There is no expectation. There is only rest. Imagine rain beginning again outside. Very soft rain. Not enough to wake you. Only enough to create a distant rhythm. Tap, tap, tap. On the roof. The sound becomes softer. Tap, tap, Tap. Then softer still. You breathe. In. And out. The rain becomes part of the darkness. The darkness becomes part of sleep. Sleep becomes deeper. And deeper. You are warm. You are comfortable. You are resting. The old apothecary remains somewhere in your imagination. Its green door. Its quiet garden. Its little shelves. Its gentle herbs. Its warm lamps. And its calming hour. Perhaps tomorrow, the shop will open again. Morning sunlight will enter through the windows. The garden will shine. The herbs will release their fragrance. The Lara will open the green door. The kettle will warm. The cups will be placed on the shelf. The town will wake. People will walk through the streets. Bread will come from the bakery. The library will open. The valley will brighten. Life will begin again. But not yet. For now, you sleep. The morning can wait. The green door can wait. The kettle can wait. The garden can wait. Everything can wait. You have permission to rest. Breathe in, gently, and breathe out, slowly. Again, in and out. Let the breath become smaller, softer, natural. Your body feels heavy. Your mind feels quiet. Your eyes are resting. Your hands are still. Your shoulders are soft. Your legs are heavy. Your whole body is settling, like a leaf gently landing on still water. No effort. No struggle. Just settling. And settling. And settling. The apothecary becomes farther away. The green door becomes smaller. The garden becomes softer. The moon becomes dimmer. The rain becomes quieter. The clock becomes distant. And finally, there is only sleep. Soft sleep. Deep sleep. Peaceful sleep. Nothing to do. Nothing to remember. Nothing to solve. Only rest. Only warmth. Only quiet. Only the gentle rhythm of breathing. In and out. In and out. The night holds you softly. The darkness surrounds you peacefully. And somewhere in the quietest corner of your imagination, the little apothecary remains. Warm. Still. Patient. Waiting for another evening. Waiting behind its green door. Waiting beneath the moon. But tonight, you do not need to return. You can stay asleep. You can drift farther, deeper, softer, quieter. And if you dream, perhaps you dream of the garden. Perhaps you dream of warm light. Perhaps you dream of rain on leaves. Perhaps you dream of a cup of tea between your hands. Perhaps you dream of nothing at all. And that is perfectly peaceful too. So let yourself drift. Let yourself rest. Let yourself sleep. The day is over. The night is gentle. The world can wait. And all around you, there is quiet. Quiet like the apothecary after closing. Quiet like the garden beneath the moon. Quiet like the moment just before morning. Quiet enough for sleep. Breathe in. And slowly breathe out. One more gentle breath. In. And out. And now, you can let go. Let the story fade. Let the words fade. Let the room fade. Let the day fade. Let everything become soft. And sleep. Sleep deeply. Sleep peacefully. Sleep gently. The green door is closed. The lamps are low. The herbs are resting. The garden is still. The moon is fading. Morning is waiting somewhere beyond the hills. But you do not need to go there yet. You can remain here. In the quiet. In the warmth. In the darkness. In the peaceful space between one breath and the next. Rest now. Sleep well. And may the quiet calming hour stay with you. Even after the story ends. Good night.